Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mika and today I'm finally going to tell you all my most anticipated reads of 2021. So all of the books that I'm going to be talking about in this video are going to be linked down below in my Goodreads. I'm not going to go too into the synopsis of a lot of these books because, again, I don't know if some things might be spoilers or not, and I know a lot of people like going into books not knowing that much, like myself. So I will have the Goodreads link down below with my list of my most anticipated reads, and I'm also going to be showing you guys the physical books that I own that haven't come out yet that are on my most anticipated list first, if that makes sense. And then I will be putting up the pictures of the books that haven't come out yet that I do not own. But first things first, I want to say thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. I was really excited about this month because they have one of my most anticipated reads for their monthly book picks. So I have worked with Book of the Month plenty of times on my channel before. I'm sure you guys know this. And Book of the Month is a monthly subscription service where you get to choose one book out of 5 different picks every single month, and it gets delivered to your doorstep just for you. The best thing about Book of the Month is that it kind of just takes out all the time you need to spend searching for like the most anticipated books that are being released for that specific month. They really take their time curating the different books that they pick for their subscribers. They have a bunch of different genres ranging from romance to thrillers to nonfiction, you name it, they probably have it. Another great thing about them is that it's also risk-free. So if you really don't like any of the book picks for that month, you can totally skip over it, or if you don't have the funds for that month, you can also skip over that specific month and you won't be charged, which a lot of subscription services don't do, and I love that Book of the Month does this. They were kind enough to send me over their 5 book picks for this month, so I'm going to show these to you guys. And if you see any books that you really like, they also gave me a link in my description along with the code new books in order for you guys to get your first box for $9.99, and that is for an adult hardcover book, which tend to be really expensive. So $9.99 is an amazing deal. Okay, so let me show you guys the books. The first book is by Jane Harper and it's called The Survivors, and this is a thriller. It says, even the deepest secrets rise to the surface. I always love Book of the Month's thrillers. They usually really come through when it comes to the spooky type of books, and honestly the cover itself just looks really like eerie. I'm building my thrillers collection. I'm so excited because this year, October, I'm going to go in on thrillers. The next book is Outlawed by Anina North. It says, Anina North has crafted a pulse-racing, page-turning saga about the search for hope in the wake of death and for truth in a climate of small-mindedness and fear. And it's also featuring an irresistibly no-nonsense, courageous, and determined heroine. And that is my favorite type of main character. I probably would not have known about this book if it wasn't for Book of the Month. The next book is The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. This says, a singular and stunning debut novel about the forbidden union between 2 enslaved young men on a deep South plantation, the refuge they find in each other, and the betrayal that threatens their existence. And then we also have The Removed by Brandon Hobson. So this book apparently has a lot of heavy Cherokee folklore in it. I don't really know much about Cherokee folklore, so this is going to be a very interesting read. So the last book that I have to show you guys from Book of the Month is actually one of my most anticipated reads, and I'm so excited for it. And that is The Dating Plan by Sarah Desai. It says, even with the step-by-step plan, these fake fiancés might accidentally fall for each other in this hilarious, heartfelt, romantic comedy. I literally love the fake dating trope, or like the fake fiancé marriage of convenience tropes, and this cover is just so stunning. I know I'm gonna love this, and I'm really excited to read this. I might start it soon because I am in the mood for some serotonin. Like I need serotonin, and romance is gonna give that to me. We also have the bookmark for this month, and this month's bookmark just says I'll wait here. So if any of those books sound interesting to you, make sure again to use my link down below in my description along with the code new books in order to get your first Book of the Month box for $9.99. Okay, so let's get into the rest of my most anticipated reads for 2021. So these are the physical advanced readers copies that publishing companies have sent me so far. far. So we're gonna start off with these. The first book on this list is The Frozen Crown by Greta Kelly. HarperCollins reached out and asked if I wanted to be sent a finished copy of this new debut novel, and I was really intrigued because when I did a little bit more research, I heard that this is kind of like a new adult type of story. I think I'm planning on doing like a new adult romance book recommendation soon, and we really do not have enough of these books in fantasy, so I'm really excited about this. This actually came out on January 12th, so I'm sure this is going to be out by the time this video is uploaded. But yes, I'm really excited about this one. I'm gonna definitely be saying I'm excited so many times in this video, and it's probably gonna get very annoying. I'm just giving you a fair warning. So the next book is Amelia Unabridged, and this is by Ashley Schmoucher. I'm so sorry. I think I'm probably one of the worst people with pronouncing last names. It's so embarrassing. This was so kindly sent to me by Wednesday Books, so thank you so much. The synopsis definitely has a lot to do with dealing with grief and death and things like that, so definitely check the trigger warnings of this book before going into it. So I really don't read enough YA contemporaries or YA contemporaries that deal with serious topics like death, and I want to get more into that. I feel like there's so many life lessons to be learned by reading stories like that, and I used to read them a lot more when I was younger, and I just kind of stopped. So my goal this year is to read a lot more YA contemporaries that follow topics like this, and this book comes out February 16th. So the next book was sent to me by Epic Reads, and that is Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. I'm so excited for this. Words can't even describe it. Like, I literally don't have words. I follow the author on Instagram, and she's just so sweet and so beautiful, and I can't wait to read this book. Also, can we just talk about the stunning cover? This is actually a Jamaican fantasy novel about witches, obviously. This story is about two witches who are sworn enemies, and they have to come together in order to basically defeat a mutual threat. I love stories where two people fucking hate each other and they have to come together in order to defeat someone, because the banter you get out of that, immaculate. Again, if you want to know more about these books, my Goodreads linked with my 2021 most anticipated reads will be in the description box. This one comes out April 21st, and it's a black girl fantasy novel. Who does not want to read that? Like, come on now. So I would not have heard of this next book if I didn't get it as book mail one day, and that book is The Castle School for Troubled Girls, and this is by Alyssa Sheehanmel. This book comes out March 2nd, and it says that this is a dark psychological contemporary novel about a grieving teen sent to a mysterious boarding school where nothing is quite as it seems. This honestly sounds so good. I really recommend you guys go and read the synopsis for this one, because it probably is one of my like most anticipated, like it's really high up on the list of my reads this year. And every single time I read the synopsis, I just want to stop everything I'm doing and pick this up, but I can't because I have so much to read. I'm pretty sure it is a dark academia, because she gets sent to a mysterious boarding school and weird shit starts happening, which would be considered a dark academia, right? What is the criteria for a dark academia? Anyways, I'm really excited about this one, and I definitely think I will be picking this one up very soon. Also, thank you again to Sourcebooks for sending me a copy of this book. So this next one is one that I actually saw on Twitter, and that's what got me really intrigued, because the cover was beautiful, and Simon Teen sent me this arc, which I was not expecting. I literally screamed when I opened the box because I was like, hold up, wait a minute. And that book is A Dark and Hollow Star, and this is by Ashley Shuttleworth. This book also comes out on March 2nd. So the little synopsis says, the iron-born half-fae outcast of her royal fae family, a tempestuous fury exiled to earth from the immortal realm and hell-bent on revenge, a dutiful fae prince determined to earn his place on the throne, and the prince's brooding guardian burdened with a terrible secret. So these are 4 queer teens, and they each hold a key piece to the truth behind murders that happen in this book. That's all I'm gonna say, and I feel like that's all we need to know. Thank you so much to Simon Teen for sending this book my way. It's thick. Like, she's very thick, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. Also, I just love the cover. Like, it's so beautiful. So this isn't the last book I'm going to show you, but it's the last physical book that I have that I'm going to show you, and that is The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. This was also sent to me by Sourcebooksfire, and this one comes out June 1st of this year. It says, for centuries, witches have maintained the climate, their power peaking in the season of their birth. But their control is faltering as the atmosphere becomes more erratic. All hope lies with Clara, an Everwitch, whose rare magic is tied to every single season. This is such a good idea, like tying in a fantasy novel with climate change. Sign me the fuck up. So I have a few more books on my most anticipated list, and I'm just going to get into them. These are all the ones that I don't own physically or that I don't have arcs of. I feel like we should just go ahead and say it up front. One of my most anticipated reads is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. This is the 4th book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and to be honest, I'm really not a huge Nesta stan. I just don't really like the girly that much, and that's okay. However, I am a huge Sarah J Maas stan, therefore I'm going to be reading the Nesta book. I am excited for it because I just miss the character so much. I miss Cassian, and I know Cassian is also a main character in this book, so it's going to be following Nesta and Cassian. I'm pretty sure there's a synopsis for it, and I just haven't read the synopsis because I don't really want to know. So this book comes out February 16th, and I will be waiting and I will be reading, that is for sure. So the next book is also a Sarah J Maas book, and that is the 2nd one in the Crescent City series. I cannot wait for Crescent City 2. I've been literally dreaming about it. I just want that book to come out now. If you can't tell, I have a whole shelf basically dedicated to the 1st book, so I don't know where the hell the 2nd book is gonna go. Like, where's the space, Mika? Where is it? But that book comes out November 2nd of this year, apparently. She said Crescent City was going to come out in 2019, and it ended up coming out in 2020. So we never really know with Miss Sarah J Maas. Either way, it's obviously one of my most anticipated reads, and I cannot wait to finally hold that book in my hands and read it. The next book that I'm highly anticipating is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. Last year, Simon Teen sent me this amazing ARC box of Chain of Gold, and I was literally losing my shit. I think Chain of Gold is one of my favorite Cassandra Clare books, and I think Cordelia, which is the main character in Chain of Gold, is one of my favorite Cassandra Clare characters in general, of like the girls at least. She's so badass, and she's just amazing. Like, I love that book so much. The friendships in it as well. Like, there were no characters that I hated besides like the villains of the story, obviously. Just everyone in that book had such a good purpose and reason as to why they were there, and it really spiced up the plot, and I loved it so much. So I can't wait for this book. I think it's going to be amazing, and I'm pretty sure we have Lucy on the cover of this book. I don't know, but I'm really excited for it. I know a lot of people hate the cover, but I actually don't mind it that much. I really don't think it's that bad. And then this book also comes out March 2nd of this year. Okay, next up, I actually have an arc of this one, and that is The Infinity Courts, and this is by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I think this is a sci-fi novel. I'm not really sure. So this book is about a girl who is on her way to a party and gets murdered before she ends up arriving, and ends up in this place called Infinity, which is where human consciousness goes when physical bodies die. She quickly realizes that shit is going down in this place called Infinity. It's a bit different from what I would usually read, but I think I really want to like broaden my taste this year. I tend to kind of just like stick to the same like romance books or like the same type of fantasy novels, and I don't really read that much sci-fi or like YA contemporary anymore, and I want to start reading more of that, and we're gonna do that in 2021. So the next book is actually untitled, and it also does not have a release date, and that is the 2nd book in the Legendborn series. We know that I literally love Legendborn. Like, that's not new news on this channel. All it says is that it's going to be published in 2021. It doesn't tell me when, and it doesn't tell me the cover. It doesn't tell me literally anything about this book other than that it's coming soon. And I just literally cannot wait long enough for this book. Next up, we have the Mary Shelley Club, and this is by Goldie Maldavsky. This book comes out April 13th. I actually have a e-arc of this book, and it's so intriguing. This one I was really excited about. It says the author delivers a deliciously twisty YA thriller that Scream meets Karen McManus about a mysterious club with an obsession for horror. I really hope you guys go and read the synopsis for this book. It sounds so good, and I just love YA thrillers that take place in high school. It reminds me of like Pretty Little Liars and like Teen Wolf, even though would Teen Wolf be considered a thriller? Probably not, but things like that, I don't know, I just love it. Okay, so I know I've mostly talked about YA book. The next one is actually an adult romance book, and this one comes out April 13th, and that is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. The Hating Game was one of my favorite romance books that I've read. So when it comes to Sally Thorne, I have really high hopes for her, and I'm really looking forward to this book. I haven't even looked to see what it was about. I have no idea about anything involving this book. All I know is that Sally Thorne is writing it, and I trust her, so she better not let me down. This next book is called Blood Like Magic, and this is by LaSalle Sambury. This comes out June 15th, and it says it's a rich, dark urban fantasy debut following a teen witch who is given a horrifying task, sacrificing her first love to save her family's magic. The problem is she's never been in love, and she'll have to find the perfect guy before she can kill him. We have a lot of like witchy, witchcraft books coming out this year. Honestly, I feel like witches are the new vampires. It's the wave right now. We have another black girl main character, so we fucking stan. The next book is also a witchcraft book, but it's also a dark academia as well, and that is A Lesson in Vengeance, and this is by Victoria Lee. This one comes out August 3rd of this year, and I'm pretty sure this is a sapphic dark academia book. I'm prepared to devour this book when it comes out. This next book is pretty unheard of. At least I haven't really heard of anyone talking about this, and that is called The Devil's Vengeance, and this is by Bella G. This is a dark romance, and if you're new to this channel and you don't really watch my videos that much, you probably won't know, but I love dark romance novels. I don't know what it is about them, but I eat them up. I love them, okay? I can't help it. I do know it's an arranged marriage type of story, but I think it's one of those stories where like they don't like each other, get married, and then something happens to her, and then he realizes how much he loves her, and comes out February 22nd, so I don't have to wait that long, and I'm really excited for this. And then we've made it to the last and final book on this list, and that is Ace of Spades by Farida Abiki Ayinidi. This book comes out June 10th. Honestly, what drew me to this is that I saw fan art on Instagram. That artist is really talented. Hopefully I can find it. I feel like I didn't save it, so I might not be able to find it to show you guys, but if you look up fan art for this book, I'm sure you'll be able to see it. It's probably one of the first ones that'll come up. But this says a utterly compelling thriller with a shocking twist that delves deep into the heart of institutionalized racism. I'm really excited because I feel like we, again, don't get that many YA thrillers, on top of the fact that it follows black main characters, on top of the fact that it also follows race and racism and institutionalized racism, which a lot of people don't know a lot about. So it follows a lot of topics that like I'm very passionate about and that I want to see more in YA. These are all the books that I'm really looking forward to this year. Like I genuinely cannot wait to just stop everything I'm doing and pick these up. But I want to hear some of the books that you guys are really anticipating this year. I'll probably do like a mid-year video to see like my most anticipated reads for the rest of 2021. But for now, in the beginning of the year, these are the books that I'm most excited for. Don't forget to check out Book of the Month, especially considering that the dating plan is one of my most anticipated of this year, and you can get this right now if you use my link down below in the description along with the code NEWBOOKS to get your first box for $9.99. Thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video, and if you watch this video all the way to this point, I want you guys to leave down below the butterfly emoji. Make sure you guys follow me on all my socials. I'm really active on my Instagram story and Twitter, so that will be linked down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah.
East and the west, I'm racking up on my breath, power on me, I'm feeling just like a Tesla. Too much tree, the smoke is making my chest hurt. Girl on me, I'm thinking I should've rest her. Hey, I'm thinking I should've rest all night long. She putting me to the test, got a lot on, I'm trying to take out the rest.